sun hung high in the sky, casting a golden hue over the bustling village of Amopoke. The air was filled with the rhythmic beats of drums and the melodious tunes of flute, signaling a day of great celebration. The village square was adorned with colorful decorations, and the vibrant colors of the attendees' traditional attires added to the festive atmosphere. Adunni stood at the center of it all, a vision of grace and beauty in an exquisite Yoruba bridal attire. Agili, a head wrap made of rich woven fabric, was tied in an intricate design, complementing her beaded necklace and the elegant iro and buba she wore. The beads on her wrists and ankles jingled softly with each step, reflecting the lights like tiny precious gems. Beside her stood Chibuzor, her husband-to-be, dressed in regal Igbo attire. His red cap sat proudly atop his head, and his Isiagu shirt, embroidered with lion-head motifs, shimmered under the sunlight. His eyes, filled with love and admiration, never left Adunni's face. He reached out and gently took her hand, their fingers intertwining in a silent promise of love and unity. Friends and family from both Yoruba and Igbo backgrounds gathered around them, their faces beaming with joy and pride. The union of Adunni and Chibuzor was more than a marriage. It was a symbol of harmony between two cultures, a testament to the power of love to bridge divides. As the village elder began the wedding rite, his deep voice resonated with the weight of tradition and history. He spoke of the importance of unity, respect, and love in marriage, and the blessings of the ancestors. The crowd responded with rhythmic clapping and cheers, their spirits lifted by the elder's words. Adunni's parents, standing close by, exchanged glances filled with mixed emotions. They were proud of their daughter, yet a tinge of sadness lingered in their eyes, knowing she was embarking on a new journey far from home. Chibuzor's family, on the other hand, watched with expression of guarded acceptance, their initial reservations about the intertribal marriage gradually giving way to the infectious joy of the occasion. As the elder concluded his blessing, Adunni and Chibuzor exchanged vows in both Yoruba and Igbo, pledging their hearts to one another in a blend of languages that symbolizes their union. The crowd erupted into applause, the sound carrying across the village like a wave of pure happiness. With the final blessing, Chibuzor lifted Adunni's hand to his lips and placed a gentle kiss on it. Adunni's heart swelled with love and anticipation for the future they would build together. The drums beat louder and the flute played a triumphant tune as the couple led the way to the reception, where food, dance, and laughter awaited. Underneath the joyous celebration, however, a subtle tension lingered. Adunni and Chibuzor were aware of the challenges they might face, but their love and determination to overcome them shone brightly, like the sun casting its golden rays over Amopoke. Adunni's fingers danced over the wooden spoon as she stirred the shimmering pot of jollof rice. The aroma of tomatoes, peppers, and spices filled the small kitchen, mingling with the scent of fried plantains. She hummed softly a Yoruba lullaby her mother used to sing, her voice a gentle echo of her joyful spirit. Chibuzor entered the kitchen, his tall frame filling the doorway. His eyes sparkled with amusement as he watched his wife move gracefully around the room. He leaned against the doorframe, crossing his arms over his chest. "You know," he began, his voice warm and teasing, "I think you had an extra ingredient that makes the jollof better than any I've ever tasted." Adunni looked up, her face lighting up with a smile that reached her eyes. "And what might that be, my dear husband?" "Love," Chibuzor replied, stepping forward to wrap his arms around her waist. "It's definitely love." She laughed, a sound that was music to Chibuzor's ears. "Well, if that's the case, then you must be the secret ingredient in my happiness." They shared a tender kiss, the kind that spoke of deep affection and unspoken promises. Their love was a beacon of hope, a testament to the unity they had forged despite their cultural differences. Their home was a harmonious blend of Yoruba and Igbo traditions. The walls were adorned with vibrant artworks from both cultures, and the shelves were lined with mementos from their travels and gifts from family members. The living room had a central place of honor for a large wooden sculpture of a couple embracing, symbolizing their union. Chibuzor and Adunni often spent their evenings sharing stories from their childhoods. exchanging tales of Yoruba festivals and Igbo folklore. They delighted in discovering the similarities and celebrating the differences, each story weaving them closer together. Adunni turned up the stove and began plating their dinner. "I still can't believe it's been a year already," she said, her voice tinged with wonder. Chibuzor nodded, taking the plate from her and setting them on the table. "Time flies when you're with the one you love." They sat down to eat, their hands briefly touching as they reached for their utensils. The meal was a celebration of their life together, a feast that mirrored the rich tapestry of their love. "Remember our wedding day?" Adunni asked between bites, her eyes shining with nostalgia. Chibuzor chuckled. "How could I forget? It was the day I won the heart of the most beautiful woman in the world." Adunni blushed, playfully swatting his hand. "And you, the most charming man." Their laughter filled the room, a melody of joy that resonated with the walls of their home. They talked late into the night, sharing dreams of the future and plans for the family they hoped to start soon. As they retired to bed, Chibuzor held Adunni close, his breath warm against her ear. "I promise to love you forever, Adunni. No matter what life brings, we'll face it together." Adunni snuggled closer, her heart full. "And I promise to stand by you always." In the soft glow of the moonlight, they fell asleep in each other's arms, their hearts beating in unison. Their love was a fortress, unshaken by the world's storm. For now, their world was perfect, and they were blissfully unaware of the shadows that loomed on the horizon, threatening to shatter their peace. The sun was beginning to set over the village of Amapoke, casting long shadows and painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. Adunni was in the kitchen preparing a special meal to celebrate her first wedding anniversary with Chibuzor. The aroma of rich stews and freshly baked bread filled their cozy home, a testament to the harmonious blend of Yoruba and Igbo traditions. She hummed a soft tune, her heart light and full of love. Suddenly, the door burst open, and Nkechi, Chibuzor's sister, stumbled in, her face pale and eyes wide with fear. Adunni dropped the spoon she was holding, her heart skipping a beat. "Nkechi, what is it? What happened?" she asked, rushing to her sister-in-law's side. "It's Chibuzor," Nkechi stammered, tears streaming down her cheeks. "It's been in an accident." Adunni felt as if the ground had opened up beneath her feet. She gripped Nkechi's hands, shaking her gently. "What do you mean? Where is he?" Nkechi led Adunni through the village, their hurried footsteps attracting the attention of curious onlookers. Whispers spread like wildfire, and soon a small crowd began to follow them. Adunni's mind raced, each step feeling like an eternity. She prayed silently, hoping against hope that Chibuzor was alright. They reached the edge of the village, where a group of villagers had gathered around something on the ground. Adunni pushed through the crowd, her heart pounding in her chest. There, lying lifeless on the ground, was Chibuzor. His face was pale, and his eyes were closed, as if in a peaceful sleep. But the unnatural stillness of his body told a different story. "No!" Adunni cried, falling to her knees beside her husband. She cradled his head in her lap, her tears mingling with the dust on his face. "Chibuzor, please wake up. Please don't leave me." The villagers looked on with a mix of sorrow and suspicion. Eze, Chibuzor's elder brother, stepped forward, his expression a mask of cold calculation. "Adunni," he said, his voice loud enough for everyone to hear. "How did this happen? How did my brother, a strong and healthy man, die so suddenly?" Adunni looked up, her eyes red and swollen from crying. "I don't know," she whispered. "I was at home preparing dinner." He said he was going to see a friend. Eze's eyes narrowed and he glanced around at the gathered villagers. "Is it not strange, brothers and sisters, that Chibuzor died on the day of the anniversary, and Adunni was at home alone? Who can vouch for her?" Murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. Adunni felt a chill run down her spine. "No, please, you must believe me. I loved Chibuzor. I will never harm him." But Eze's words had planted a seed of doubt. He turned to the village elders who had arrived to assess the situation. "We must investigate this," he declared. "We must find out the truth." Adunni's heart sank. She had heard stories of these practices, grueling and often dangerous rituals meant to uncover the truth. She looked at Chibuzor's lifeless body, her grief turning into a steely resolve. "I will do whatever it takes to prove my innocence," she said, her voice unwavering. "I love my husband and I will clear my name." The villagers watched as Adunni was led away, whispers following her every step. The sun had set completely now, and the village was plunged into darkness, mirroring the uncertainty and fear that had taken hold. Adunni knew her journey would be long and difficult, but she vowed to endure whatever trials lay ahead to honor Chibuzor's memory and find justice. The village square buzzed with tension, an uneasy silence falling over the gathered crowd. The once vibrant and joyous place where Adunni and Chibuzor had celebrated their love now seemed cold and hostile. In the center of the crowd stood Eze, Chibuzor's elder brother, his face a mask of righteous indignation and barely concealed glee. Eze was a tall, imposing man, his presence commanding attention. He had always envied his younger brother's happiness and success, and now he saw an opportunity to seize what he had always believed was rightfully his. As he stood before the villagers, he raised his voice, his words dripping with calculated sorrow and venom. "Brothers and sisters," Eze began, his voice trembling with feigned emotion, "we have gathered here today to mourn the untimely death of my beloved brother Chibuzor, a man of great honor and kindness taken from us far too soon." The villagers nodded in agreement, their eyes filled with a mix of sympathy and suspicion. Adunni stood to the side, her heart pounding in her chest, knowing that whatever came next would determine her fate. But Eze continued, his voice growing louder and more forceful. "We cannot ignore the dark shadow that hangs over his death. My brother did not die of natural causes. No, he was taken from us by the evil machinations of a witch." Gasps and murmurs rippled through the crowd. Adunni's blood ran cold as Eze's gaze locked into hers, his eyes gleaming with malice. "Eze, this is a serious accusation," one of the village elders interjected, his voice stern but curious. "What proof do you have to support such a claim?" Eze turned to the elder, his expression one of pained resolve. "I have seen the signs, honored elder. My brother's death was sudden and mysterious. And who was closest to him? Who had the most to gain from his demise?" He pointed a trembling finger at Adunni, his wife. Adunni, a woman of questionable origins and unknown powers. Adunni stepped forward, her voice steady despite her fear. "I love Chibuzor with all my heart. I will never harm him. Please, you must believe me." But Eze was relentless. "She speaks with a silver tongue, but do not be fooled. There are whispers in the village, stories of her dealings with dark forces. I have heard her speak in strange tongues, seen her gather herbs and powders in the dead of the night. This is not the behavior of an innocent woman." The villagers exchanged uneasy glances. Eze's words had sown seed of doubt and fear, and the once supportive community began to turn against Adunni. "Eze, these are serious accusations," the elder said again, his voice heavy with concern. "We must investigate this matter thoroughly before passing judgment." Eze nodded solemnly. "I agree, honored elder. Let us subject her to the traditional practices, the trials that will reveal her true nature. If she's innocent, the spirit will protect her, but if she's guilty, her wickedness will be exposed for all to see." The villagers murmured in agreement, and the elders nodded their heads. Adunni felt a wave of despair wash over her. She knew the trials were grueling and unjust, designed to break the spirit and body of the accused. But she had no choice. To refuse would be to admit guilt, and she could not let Chibuzor's memory be tainted by such a lie. As the crowd dispersed, Eze smiled, satisfied with his work. Adunni stood alone in the square, the weight of the coming trials pressing heavily on her shoulders. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for the ordeal ahead. She would face whatever came with strength of her love for Chibuzor and the unwavering belief in her own innocence. Adunni stood in the center of the village square, surrounded by the elders of Chibuzor's Igbo family. Their faces, etched with years of wisdom and authority, now bore the weight of solemn judgment. Adunni's heart raced as she awaited their verdict, her hands tightly clasped in front of her. Elder Okeke, the eldest among them and known for his fairness, spoke first in a deep commanding voice. "Adunni, wife of our departed brother Chibuzor, accusations of grave nature have been brought against you, his gaze was stern yet contemplative. Adunni's eyes flickered with a mix of fear and disbelief. She had been expecting this moment since Chibuzor's untimely death, but now that the time was here, the reality of facing these accusations was overwhelming. Elder Nwachukwu, known for his strong adherence to tradition, continued solemnly. It is alleged that you, Adunni, used malevolent powers to bring about the death of our beloved Chibuzor. Such accusations tarnish not only your honor, but also that of our family and community. Adunni swallowed hard, her voice steady but tinged with emotion as she replied, Elders, I love Chibuzor deeply. I will never harm him or anyone else. I swear by the spirit and our ancestors, I am innocent of these accusations. Elder Nwachukwu nodded gravely. To ascertain the truth and restore honor, you must undergo a series of trials as prescribed by our customs. These trials will test your purity of heart and resolve any doubt cast upon you. Adunni listened intently as Elder Okeke outlined the trials she will face. First, you must journey to the sacred grove and retrieve a rare herb known to reveal the intentions of the pure-hearted. Second, you will walk the path of fire, a test of your courage and conviction. Lastly, you will commune with the spirit at the ancestral shrine, where your innocence or guilt will be revealed. Adunni felt a chill run down her spine at the daunting task ahead. The trials were not merely physical, but spiritual, designed to delve into the depth of her soul and uncover the truth that lay hidden. Elder Okeke concluded with solemn authority, May the Spirit guide you, Adunni. May they bring forth the clarity and justice that we seek. Until then, you shall remain under the watchful eyes of the family and community. Adunni nodded, her mind racing with apprehension and determination. She knew the road ahead would be arduous, filled with challenges that tested not only her innocence, but also her resilience and faith. As the elders dispersed, Adunni felt a reassuring touch on her shoulder. It was Nkechi, Chibuzor's younger sister. Her eyes filled with compassion and unwavering support. We believe in you, Adunni, Nkechi whispered, her voice a beacon of hope amidst the uncertainty. Adunni nodded gratefully, drawing strength from Nkechi's words and the solidarity of her newfound family. With her resolve renewed and her heart steadied, she prepared herself for the trials that would determine her fate and honor her beloved Chibuzor's memory. Will Adunni survive the trials that lie ahead? Can she prove her innocence and emerge unscathed? Find out in episode 2. Meanwhile, if you found this story compelling, please subscribe, like, share, and turn on the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay connected.